Thank you, Josh. As you're all aware, New Hampshire has an aging demographic, a low birth rate, declining migration from Massachusetts. So economists have told us that international immigration is critical to developing the workforce we need to grow the economy in this state. Do you agree with that? And if so, what would you do to encourage that immigration? And if you don't agree, please explain, starting with Mayor Gatsas.
Well, thank you for the question. I can tell you that certainly I'm somebody that's been out there supporting immigrants. I think it's important that we have them in this state. I think it's important that we have them in this country. But I can tell you the one thing that the immigrants will tell you is that they want to make sure that they get a good job so that they can support their family and they can learn the language. Those are the two most important things. And when I was looking for a moratorium 4 years ago, those are the things that I went up and talked to the governor and the executive council about, to allow the folks that are here now the opportunity to find those good jobs and to learn the language. But again, I didn't get the support of the council because they voted to make sure that they send them. When you see the immigration in this city, you know that when we speak 62 different languages at Central High School, it's something that we should be talking about, even though that these immigrants are working hard to find their way through life. I think it's important that we do the best we can. But again, the Syrian immigration is something we have to consider because we don't know who some of those immigrants are.
All right, Senator Forrester, same question to you.
My number one priority as governor of the state of New Hampshire will be the safety and security of our residents. Having said that, I do support immigration, but I believe we need to make sure those immigrants are properly vetted before they come into the state. You know, a week or so ago, I toured the border, the Canadian border, with the Border Patrol agent, and they showed me the 58 miles of border, Canada and New Hampshire, 3 checkpoints, and informed me of their concerns because 25,000 refugees had been brought into Canada, and we have a very porous border in Canada, and from what I've heard, the vetting process of those Syrian refugees is highly in question. So as governor, I say yes to immigration, but I say also we need to make sure we have a proper vetting process. Thank you.
Councilor Sununu.
Thank you. When the Obama administration first proposed bringing in 10,000 immigrants into this country, I stood up and I said no. The federal government cannot and has not shown their ability to do their job, to protect our citizens, to use the vetting process as well as it can be used to ensure who's coming in, what their motives are. And so I stood up and I said no to that. The idea that immigration is a workforce driver for the state of New Hampshire, I completely disagree with. The best workforce drivers for the state of New Hampshire is a governor that understands business in the year 2016, a governor that lives and breathes business issues, that can go out across our borders into our region, bring businesses in, make the investments to incentivize young workers to stay here, incentivize workers to come here. That's one of the primary jobs of a governor, and it's exactly what I'm going to do.
Chris, that comes down to perception and reality. The perception is that you stand up and say that you stood up and you were against immigration. However, the reality is that when I went up to the governor's council and you were there, and I asked for a moratorium on refugees, you voted against it. That's perception and reality.
The moratorium on refugees back in 2011 had nothing to do with the 10,000 Syrian refugees that President Obama was purporting to bring in. Those are two completely separate issues.
All right, we've got to get Representative Edelblu's take on this.
Thank you. So absolutely, as governor, my job is to make sure that our communities are safe for our citizens. But there's a premise in the question that says if we don't bring younger people into our communities, that we can't have a thriving economy. And I think that that's a wrong premise, because that premise doesn't take into account the fact that not only is New Hampshire aging, but the United States is aging and the world is aging. Let's make sure that that demographic reality is built into our economic development plans. Simply because we're aging doesn't mean we can't have a thriving economy. What we really want to do is we want to take that demographic development of an aging population and make it work for our economy. New Hampshire could take the lead in that. Areas like medical devices and therapies in terms of medicine, those can become economic engines for New Hampshire. The aging population is not a liability, it is an asset that we need to treat as such.